Oh, there it is.
You're good? We got it.
It says excellent connection. Okay, here we go. Yes.
We got it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever live stream of the Expert Sucks Sports Betting Podcast. I am Mike Day, and you can see us now, and I am joined by Brandon Day and Brad Thurman. What's up, guys?
Big milestone.
What is happening?
Everybody hear me?
We can
Yeah.
hear you just fine.
Nice.
We're in three
All
different
right.
locations. This is really cool.
Technology.
We are in three different locations. I'm in the basement. Brad's, I think, in his office, which is awesome. And Brandon is in his new office in his new place.
Yep. Yeah, it's a big
Yeah, so here we
milestone
go.
for the podcast and big milestone for me. Off on my
Yeah,
own.
all at once.
Yeah. So learning things here, trying to figure this out with the podcast and the live stream. You are, and then I'm learning how to live on my own.
Well, that
Attaboy.
that is awesome. And I don't know what the hell happened over the winter. Like last time we signed off talking football and come back here and you guys have like live streaming and intro music. I don't know what the hell's going on.
We're trying to become an actual podcast. Yeah. Well, we got the podcast part. Now we're trying to become YouTubers, which we'll see how that goes.
Just breaking into all the good social media things, aren't we, Dad?
We are. So yeah, this is the next step in our progression of the podcast. So I'm not sure. Does anybody see if anybody's on yet?
I don't see any comments or anything else. I can't see who's in it either on whatever program we're using.
So yeah, there'll be some things.
Two current viewers.
Let's go.
Which is cool. Yeah, let's go. Let me check the comments to see if there's anything there. Nothing on our end, but that's okay. If you're viewing, go ahead and. Oh yes,
Preston.
Okay. Preston is one of the NASCAR. Well, he's a Discord guy that he and I chat quite a bit. Let's go, Preston. Cool. Thanks for jumping in. Very cool. Yeah. So we got one listener down in Nashville. Preston's down there, and he does a lot on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network Discord. And the dude is a daily fantasy sports, a DFS specialist. He constantly wins in the NASCAR DFS. So welcome in, Preston. Thank you so much for joining us. Very cool. So that makes me even more excited. So maybe we should do a quick introduction of the. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, don't give me too much credit, Preston says. Yeah, you earn it though, my man. So for those of you that don't know, and most of you, I hopefully that you're in here do know what we do here. We are the Expert Suck Sports Betting Podcast, and Brad and I started this last football season as a kind of a experiment for the two of us to bet directly against the experts in college and pro football bets. And for those of you that don't know, Brad, do you recall how we finished out?
I believe it was 53 or 54%, and our target number was 52.3 or whatever it is to make money. So yeah, we beat the experts in picking against them. So we had a great year, and we said we're gonna do this again to see if we can do 2 years in a row of beating the experts and proving that the experts truly do suck at their job. Of course, I said tongue in cheek, and we suck too.
Yeah, tongue in cheek, and yeah, because everybody that knows us now and knows our brand from Discord knows that we do this completely for fun. We're not trying to call out any experts, or we're not
No.
trying to, um, make them upset or anything like that. But um, we're just kind of going against them to see if just an average Joe bet is any better or worse than an expert. So then what happened was with the podcast is that football ended, and Brad said, "Okay, I'm going to take a break," and then we were like, "Okay, now what do we do?" So we decided to do the other, quote unquote, other weekly sports as the off-season sports, which were PJ Tour, UFC, and NASCAR. And then that's when I recruited Brandon, because Brandon knows golf, he knows PJ Tour, Brandon knows
Yeah,
UFC,
for the
and the
most
two of
part,
us
try
have
my best.
become, yeah, the two of us have become huge NASCAR fans.
Yes. We'll get into last weekend. That was fun. That was a fun
That
watch.
was fun. Yeah. So then we're like, okay. I was like, I see a lot of other podcasters and everything doing live streams and having their YouTube channel and all that. And many of them are been around for 3 or 4 years and
Sure.
are pretty well produced. I'm trying to do my best here with this streaming software.
The
It'll get
basement
better.
production.
And now Brad's back, and yeah, the basement production. And we're getting geared up for the first week of what we call season 2 of the podcast, season 2 of football.
Yeah. How are we here already? We're like a week away from making our first picks. This is crazy.
Yeah, really, Thursday, September 4th, right?
Yeah.
Is technically week 1 of the NFL.
Right.
So what Brad and I do, we're in a contest where you pick 6 games a week, and they can be any combination of college or pro against the spread. And that's basically it. So then what we do is we try to find, should I give them the full rundown?
You don't have to. Yeah, we can. We're going to go over that next week, but yeah, we'll
But that's what we do.
up to speed next week. But yeah, it's what we do, and we're going to add a little something this year. So Mike and I are going to not only compete against the experts, but we're going to spice it up a little and compete against each other.
I love it, boys.
I forgot about this part. Yeah.
Yeah. So
we're going to kind of compete.
Yep. So we the only thing we have to decide is are we going to do still like the going against the experts with our own, or I think we should just do our own picks and then just see if we can beat ourselves with going against the experts. Because last year the experts suck picks beat both of us individually as well.
Well, what do you think? I think we should have our individual picks, like we're talking about,
Yep.
but then still have the one expert suck pick.
Oh,
where
yeah.
those are the ones. Yeah, those are the ones that are directly against the experts for the season. So
And
yeah, let's do that. So we'll track our head to head, because a lot of times you and I don't know our head to head picks, or like our own personal picks.
Right. Yeah. So just looking forward to having fun doing that next week. And it's been fun watching Brandon, take over the seat while I call him the summer me.
I love it.
Exactly.
For those Seinfeld fans out there, but Brandon's doing a great job. And
thank you,
Mike. I love that you have the passion for this and just kept going. Like for me, this is a football season thing. I'm busy with everything else under the sun during, the off season. So I just love that you kept this going. So great job to both of you, and looking forward to picking back up the reins next week. And let's lace them up and play some football. This is awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We are totally. That's our passion. Our number one passion is football, and that's how we were originated as a podcast. And we will always stick to those roots every season. So yeah, it's all good. It's all fun. I love doing it. We'll keep this thing going.
Brad, we gotta get you doing some like motivational speaking, some like hype speaking. That was good.
Yeah, that was some big hype.
Got me fired up for football.
how do you know that, like that's not what I do for my profession? Like, you ever ask me what I do for a living? Well, I am going to let you guys get to your recap of last week and whatever you're going to talk about this week. But I just wanted to pop on, see how this live streaming is going to work, test it out, and can't wait for next week. I'll be on location in Dallas while we do this internet thing. So looking forward to it. Mike, Brandon, um, again, thanks for picking up where I left off.
Of
And
course.
yep,
Great to
Yeah,
see you,
let's
Brad.
go.
we'll talk next week, fellas.
Yeah, good luck
We
with
will.
football.
All right, later.
All right. Thanks, Brad. Okay, awesome. That was great that Brad popped on and joined us. So let me see. Let me see if I can.
Want to get right into this? I got pulled up and
Yeah,
everything. I can
let's jump
start.
in.
All right.
Let's jump into
Some pretty
what we
crazy.
do for the.
Yeah. Some pretty
Let's
crazy
end review
things
last week.
happened, Dad. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm trying to.
I'll carry it on.
Trying to get.
Well,
Yeah,
golf
you go.
last week was really cool to watch. Tommy Fleetwood got his first win. His first tour win or his first championship win?
First PGA Tour win.
His first tour win, and coming in first for a tour championship too. That being his first win, it's really cool to see. The guy has been grinding golf for years, trying to get to that spot, and to just like see the relief on his face and just like his body language after he sunk that putt, the like 2-foot putt, was really cool to watch. So congrats to him. Congrats to his family. Got a big check for that one.
Yeah, it was awesome that he finally broke through after 7, I think, or so runner up. So
long time.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool for Tommy Fleetwood. He did end up winning the tour championship. So what a tournament, right? To get your first win at.
No, seriously, yeah. And he had some people chasing him. It wasn't like he did have like a 3-stroke lead, but in the tour championship, anything can happen. It's not the most like pillowy, comfortable 3-stroke lead ever. So way to hold on, Tommy, after not holding on for a while.
Yeah, exactly. So let's do just a little bit of review because the PGA Tour regular season did end with the Tour Championship, as we mentioned, with Tommy Fleetwood winning. But what also ended was the PGA Tour Fantasy League that Brandon and I were in, the Rick Run Good Fantasy League for the PGA Tour. Rick Gaiman hosted that. I don't know whatever became of any of the prizes or anything like that. I haven't caught any of Rick Gaiman's podcasts. So let's just sum it up and see where do we end up.
Yeah. So I finished up in 33rd place. Preston saying he would miss a 2-foot putt. So would I, buddy.
Yeah, with that huge payday.
Oh yeah. I finished 33rd in the league, which I feel is very good out of 1,142
well, tell the people.
Yeah.
There you go.
So very proud of myself. It was a grind. That whole season was a grind. You finished very well too after being kind of in the middle of the pack for a while. In 180th place.
Yeah, not bad. So we both moved up a few spots. You moved up to 18. I moved up 4, which
thank you, Ben Griffin, for holding on into a decent spot.
Yeah, that helped you a lot. I don't feel bad about 180th out of 1142, so almost top 10%. So, and that was fun. And like we talked about last week, we may do something different as far as next year goes, especially with Rick Gaiman doing a lot of things on Splash Sports. So once that comes back around, then we'll put that out there if anybody else is interested in what he's doing as well. So then
Yeah.
the other thing we do as we're recapping, we do the PGA Tour fade of the week, and our fade of the week for the Tour Championship was
Yeah, Rory McIlroy, who finished tied for 23rd, which is nuts. After the season that dude played and to note, there were only 30 people to play last weekend.
so
He,
T23.
yeah, that's after winning the Masters and completing his career Grand Slam to do that, to finish tied for 23rd, buddy.
Yeah, right. But that was kind of pretty much how we thought he would go because
Yeah.
he wasn't in great form off the tee going into this week, and it kind of showed on that course where he just kind of struggled off the tee, and that just resulted in a lot of scrambling that not too many birdie opportunities. So yeah, we kind of thought that would happen.
I mean, if you're Rory McIlroy, you got to be. Yeah, you
You got to be
competed.
better than that.
You got to be better, but yeah, you had a really good season. Not something to be too mad about, but you still got to finish a little bit higher. At least I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a hot take or not.
So, but oh yeah, Preston helping us out.
I know,
We
right?
forgot that Rory sat out St. Jude's, which was the first leg,
Yeah, that's a very good point.
and BMW to prepare for his T23. So yeah, that's not a good look. That's not a
No,
good look at
it's
all.
a tough look.
Yeah. So our fate of the week did finish for the season at 29-3. So 3 dudes beat us, and 2 of them were Rory, and 1 of them was Scotty.
I feel very good about being beat by Rory and Scotty as our only 3 losses.
Yes. Yeah. So
I,
that's not bad. And if everybody, if you remember, everybody remembers that we weren't necessarily taking the worst guys. We didn't even get probably outside the top 5
no,
on the odds boards when we were
yeah,
doing our fades of the week. So we were taking on the best players at every tournament. So that's not bad. And then we do our ladder play of the week, which boy, both of us thought
I
this one would be
know,
so much better than
I
it was.
know.
So give that out.
Our ladder of the week, Ludwig Oberg finished tied for 21st. And after the week he had 2 weeks ago, we thought you texted me and you were like, what do you think? And I was like, let's keep the Oberg train going. Like, he looks really good. He's almost at a point where he could win. It looked like he was like he looked at earlier in the year when he won the Farmers. And it just kind of did not come through for us, sadly.
Yeah. So a little down for him. Much like Rory, he really never got anything spectacular going, nothing to speak of. He really didn't do anything particularly well. And it kind of showed with the T21 finish. So, and then this was the interesting thing that we thought was going to be a lot more fun than it probably turned out to be,
Yeah.
just because of the way some of these guys finished. But what we did was, if you recall last week, we did the top 10 finishers parlay, and it was a matchup between the USA top 4 guys that are on the Ryder Cup team and the European guys that are on the Ryder Cup team. So 4 guys on each to finish top 10. Let's just go through those, and then we can decide who did better.
Yeah. So our USA team was Scotty Scheffler, finished tied for 4th. JJ Spahn tied for 25th. Russell Henley tied 2nd. And Harris English tied for 13th. And then for the European team, we had Rory tied for 23rd. Tommy Fleetwood for 1st. Robert McIntyre, who finished tied for 17th. And Justin Rose, who finished tied for 21st.
Yeah, so I guess the Euros had the winner. So I guess they get
Yes. That's a little
a little
late
bit
there.
a little bit more props
Yeah.
because of that. But if you look, Scheffler was T4, Henley was T2, Spawn T25, Harris English T13 versus first place T17, T21, T23. So pretty balanced.
Yeah.
I don't know who we could really call the winner there.
I
Anybody in the
think,
chat wants to chime in and let us know
yeah.
who they thought played
And
better
no
of those
USA
8 guys.
bias, but I think the USA slightly takes it. Um, I think
Just
if
because the top
someone,
2, top 4.
yes, I think if Rory, Bobby Mack, or Justin Rose finished even higher than what they did, I think it would have very easily gone to the European team. I, but I gotta give a slight edge to Team USA. I don't know
Yeah,
how you feel about that.
I feel kind of the same. English up in there in the top 13, almost a top 10. Whereas Rose and Rory are both below top 20s. Not great. So the only shining spot again for the Euros was Fleetwood with the win. So pretty even. The good thing is they are going to settle it on the course in 2 weeks.
Very exciting.
And now there's a lot more Ryder Cup talk on the captain's picks. So
Yeah. And I think
we
Keegan's actually going to play.
I don't know if he's officially announced it, if anybody has heard yet,
I think he
but
might have
he's kind of
today.
put that out there. Preston bet Europe earlier this year. Yeah.
Yeah,
He says if Scotty cries again, it's all Europe again. That's so funny.
if it looks anything like it did last year, cooked.
2 years ago.
USA team's cooked. Or 2 years ago, sorry.
Yeah, I mean it is
It,
in New York. It's in Bethpage, so that's going to be a big plus for the U.S. team.
yeah.
We are going to do Brandon and I are going to do a Ryder Cup specific at least spot next week. Hopefully the teams should be announced by then. So let me know how everybody feels about this take, because Brandon already knows what's coming because I've been banging this drum all week and probably for 2 weeks. I don't think Colin Morikawa has any business being on this team.
I think there's dudes right now playing way better than him.
And that's exactly why. Okay, a little bit of reasoning. Right now, he's in his head, number one. He hasn't won on tour in 2 years. He's been finishing at best T15 in the last 8 tournaments this season. He's on his 5th caddy, so you know he's going through it in his head. And the dude can't putt. He is 141st in strokes gained putting on tour for the season. There's only 50 golfers on tour. So do we really want this guy having to hit a 10-foot putt to win the Ryder Cup? I'd rather have Sam Burns hitting that putt or Cam Young hitting that putt.
Say. Well,
especially Sam Burns.
Yes. I think Sam Burns has been playing. He has that I think if he doesn't, U.S. Open, you go back to there. I think if he doesn't have to hit a ball out of the water, he wins. He got kind of screwed there, but he has that dog. He's got that. I think if he goes out there, he's got that mentality that we're gonna win.
And he's one of the best putters on tour. I do want that guy lining up a 10 to 12 foot putt to win the Ryder Cup.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, look at the 12 guys 16 guys or so that the U.S. can choose from. Tell me who's a better putter than Sam Burns.
You got names of also dudes who've been playing super well on tour this year compared to Colin Morikawa's year. You got Ben Griffin, Cam Young.
Yeah.
Those 2 dudes, Patrick Cantlay.
Keegan should play himself.
I think he should too.
It's just a lot though for him. There's a lot of more distractions, so he can't be completely focused on playing. So I get it if he doesn't pick himself, but we'll see. Hopefully we'll know by next week, and we'll go through all that. And just the best thing about Keegan Bradley is he's not Zach Johnson.
Yes. I just looked up. Keegan has made no decision yet, but thank goodness it's not Zach Johnson.
Yeah.
He's not just
Keegan,
bringing his boys on a trip to Bethpage to have a good time and go on vacation. Keegan's there to win.
exactly. He's there to win. So, okay, let's revisit that next week because we have two more things to get into. Um, we have the UFC Fight Night that was in Shanghai, China last week. I didn't get a chance to listen to the experts, any of their podcasts, so I don't have the experts' consensus picks on MMA, but we do have how JT Springsteen did, our Oracle. So throw JT's record out there.
Yeah. So JT was 8-4, and the expert picks were not on the notes that you gave me.
I know I didn't get a chance to listen to their podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's why. So there you go.
Yeah.
But JT, 8-4,
So
very good job.
yeah, he was 8-4 last week too. So the dude is, if you want, I always put his 12 money line picks on the Instagram. So if you're playing JT's picks as single bets, you're making money. Just keep that in mind.
Some good
Not that we're saying
consistency right
you should
there.
take any of our bets. You do all your betting at your own risk. I'm just saying he does pretty good. Now,
Yes.
let's get into probably the most fun thing we watched this weekend, and that was the NASCAR Coke Zero Sugar 400 at
Yeah.
Daytona Speedway.
And
This
Daytona always
was
brings
awesome.
fun and fiery
Chaos.
racing and chaos. But yeah, so our boy Ryan Blaney came back from 12th place within like the last lap and a half, maybe half a lap, and took the car lift for us and won.
Yeah. So Blaney was our car lift of the week. Winner, top 3, top 5. So we got the full Ryan Blaney scoop.
Yeah.
So
And it was
that
so,
was
oh my
awesome. It was
gosh,
awesome because
so cool watch.
we were watching it together and you left. You're like,
I
he's not going to
know.
win.
I was like, because he was in like 20 something, wasn't even on the top leaderboard they
With like
have on
14
TV.
laps left. When
I
Logano
know.
freaked and had that spin out or whatever when he was in the lead and there was like 15 laps left, I think. I'm like, oh no, now we're cooked
Yeah.
because, and maybe that helped Blaney because they stacked them all back up again. So I don't know if Logano did that on purpose because he's Blaney's teammate, but I don't know why he did it. It was weird. He just all of a sudden cut across the front of whoever it was and spun out. That was weird.
Yeah. And then I got home and I was like, I'll turn NASCAR back on, see what's going on. And there's Ryan Blaney up there. And I was like, oh. And then I watched the last like 10 laps or so. And he pulled it out.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I'm
he came
sorry
back
for touting you.
furious.
I know.
Furious comeback in like the last 4 laps. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, geez, 2 laps left. And we're like, oh, he's going to take the lead.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I was hyped. I was home alone, just yelling.
That's
just
the
a
best.
great welcome for my neighbors.
You may hear a little bit more Blaney coming up because we have some things to talk about in NASCAR. Okay, then we do our head-to-head matchups. Let's go through those real quick.
Yeah, so our head-to-head matchups, we had Reddick over Bowman, which hit. Reddick finished 21st, and Bowman finished 36th. Byron over Larson, which was red, did not hit. Byron finished 19th, and Larson finished 6th. And then
I should have went the other way. It was Cody. It was Cody. He's like, oh, Larson would have been the fade because Byron is my pick on that head-to-head. So I should have went on brand.
It's all right.
Anyway.
Learning experience, Dad.
Yep.
And then
Stick
we
to the
had
brand.
Suarez over Gibbs, which hit. Suarez finished 2nd, and Gibbs finished 8th.
Yeah, so we were 2 out of 3 on the head-to-head, which that puts us now for the season at 19, 19, and 1. So we're pretty all 50-50 on the head-to-heads when we need to get 3-0 to hit the parlay.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I still bet those as single bets as well. So, yeah, just even. Okay, then the NASCAR top
better than being
finishers.
under 500, Dad.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Better than losing
Yeah.
every week.
Um,
The NASCAR top finishers picks, the top 3, top 5, top 10 racers. Ooh, this was
this was not
gross.
good, Dad. Our top three: William Byron at 19th. Our top five: Joey Logano, 27th, and top 10: Chase Briscoe, 23rd.
Yeah, all red.
Brutal.
That was very Daytona esque. We got NASCAR'd, my phrase. Um, we got NASCAR'd on a couple of those. Well, Logano, that was a total freak. I still don't know what happened on that.
Uh,
Because he was in the lead with like 14 laps to go. I'm like, ooh, because I had a Logano sprinkle as well, right? I'm like, ooh, that might make up for the Blaney car lift, and then just spin out, dude. And then Byron never really got anything going. Briscoe, think he was part of some chaos as well. So yeah, um, we got to do better on those. But I will take the car lift win and scoop every week.
can we talk about some of the cars that they had this week? I forgot who it was, but it looks like a 5-year-old decided to sponsor the cars. It was the
That
Little Bite sponsor, and what was the other
yeah,
one? Uh,
that was Ryan Priest. Ryan Priest had
Ryan
the little
Priest.
bites
Yeah,
and Capri Sun car,
Capri
which was
Sun.
awesome.
Yes,
Yeah,
and then there was
and then
the pickle sponsored car.
the pickle car of I can't
Just so
remember.
funny. I can't remember
Help us
either.
out, somebody in the chat. Oh, and then the Ronald McDonald car, which was Tyler
Yeah,
Reddick. Yeah.
pretty funny
So um, the coolest one got wrecked out pretty early, and that was Bubba Wallace.
with the
That was
camo.
way with the
Yeah.
camo. Yeah. That was
Uh-huh.
way early in the race. So there were some cool cars. There'll be some other ones, I bet, for the playoffs. I love the paint schemes as much as anything.
They're fun.
So yeah, I'll post those again to
I
the
want to. I
Instagram.
want to see another Little Bites Capri Sun car. I love it.
Yeah, that was cool. We already talked about the PGA Tour for next week. That the Ryder Cup is coming up, and then there are fall events. Now, the fall events are guys that they're going to be names that are up and comers. They're guys that are trying to earn their tour card and whatnot. So we may pay attention to those and give out some plays there and at least some names, so that people, when you hear them next January, February, you won't be like, "Well, who the heck's this guy?"
Yeah.
So we'll commit to that, but we are definitely going to have a Ryder
And
Cup discussion.
some TGL we might throw in there. The TGL is the like
Preston, my wife couldn't believe the Little Bites Capri Sun car came up on the screen as I came upstairs with Little Bites and a Capri Sun for the race.
that's
That's so good.
hilarious.
That's so good.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Awesome, Preston.
But we got if you don't know golf and their off season, kind of what they do um, something called the TGL. It's the golf league where they put
Oh, yeah.
yeah
I forgot.
where they put some of the best golfers in the world on like 6 different teams. I think I don't remember, but there's like 5 to 6 players to a team, and they compete every week. And this like indoor, it's at SoFi
Arena
Stadium
ish. Yeah.
arena, and they have a giant simulator screen that they hit into, and then a green that like moves and they can contour it to whatever green they're playing on in the screen. It's super fun, super cool to see, just with like all the technology and stuff that goes on there. So we might talk about that a little bit because it's a weekly thing, and just kind of give
Yeah.
some insight there and maybe some bets because you can't bet on it. So it might be fun.
Yeah. And they may have a couple more teams this season. So they were
Yeah.
talking about a few more of the PGA Tour players coming back
Like
to
Tiger
play.
did it last year. Rory was doing it. I think, yes, Colin is on
On
the
the
LA.
LA team. I don't think we'll be buying any gear anytime soon. That's not to say I'm not a fan of Colin Morikawa. It's just
Great guy. Yeah.
I don't want him on the Ryder Cup team this year because I'd rather see the USA team win. But I don't recall all the TGL teams. I think the Atlanta team was pretty good.
Tigers was out of Jupiter. There
Yeah,
was a Boston one.
Boston. I think Rory was on there. The New
Boston,
York
yeah.
one was headlined by Fitzpatrick and I think I can't remember. And then there was one at the Bay, and that was Oberg's team. So
Yeah,
um, yeah, yeah. So we'll do some TGL. That'll be
it'd be
cool.
fun. Yeah. Want to get into this week? This
Yeah,
the
that's okay. So the next thing we got to do is UFC.
yes.
UFC Fight Night is around the world again. Dana is just trying to build a global brand because UFC Fight Night is at Accor Arena in Paris, France this
Yeah,
week.
one we can actually watch though. That'll be at 1 o'clock. The main event
In
will not at
in
4
the
a.m.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like it was because on the prelims in China were 1 a.m. and then the main card was 4. I'm like, ugh, I'm asleep.
Yeah, exactly. So when I woke up, I hadn't had JT's picks yet. I mean, he sent them to me, but I hadn't posted them yet, and then they were all over.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, okay,
When you woke up at what, like 6 o'clock?
yeah. Um, so yeah, we will get to see this one. Not a bad card.
No, not at
The
all.
number 2 contender and the number 7 contender in the middleweight division are the main event. The Frenchman Nassourdine
Yeah.
Imavov. Jeez,
I'm out of, yeah, close
butchering
enough.
that. Look it up on ESPN. Is fighting Ko Borhalo,
That
the
was pretty
Brazilian.
good.
Number 2 versus number 7. Thanks. And then the undercard, I thought Mauricio Rufy was actually ranked, and he's not. He's 12-1.
I
I
know.
couldn't find him ranked anywhere. And he's fighting Benoit Saint Denis, another Frenchman.
Which will be a good fight.
Um, yeah, weird.
That'll be a fun fight to watch.
Yeah,
Because
so that will
Ruby has
be.
been he's been making a little name for himself, even though he's not ranked. People know about him, and if you've been paying attention to UFC a little bit, he knocks dudes out.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't figure out why he wasn't ranked at 12-1. So I don't know. I bet if he beats Saint Denis, then he will be.
Yeah, he just got out of the Contender Series like 2 years ago. Dana White's Contender
Oh,
Series.
oh, okay.
Um,
So
so he had
maybe
his
that's
he had his first like main card fight back in like mid mid 2024. That's what it looks like to me. And then has just been playing. He was there for the John Jones fight, and then his last fight was the UFC 313 Pereira and Ankalev, the first one I think, back in
okay.
March.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So we'll get JT's picks again, um, well ahead of the fights on Saturday, and post them on Instagram. And then I will actually look at the experts podcasts and get their picks as well this week. So we're not missing out on that. Now, here we go. This is a lot, but we're going to cover this because there's a
yeah,
lot happening and it's a lot of fun. NASCAR uh, goes to Darlington Speedway for the very first race of the playoffs. So NASCAR is now into the playoffs. And I actually had to ask AI to explain the playoff system to me for NASCAR because it's all kind of based on points and finishing and whatnot. And so then I looked at the field in the Cookout Southern 500 at Darlington Raceway, and there was still 39 or 40 cars. I'm like, well, I thought there was only 16 guys in the playoffs. Well, apparently they all race, but where the 16 guys, the top 16 guys that are in the playoffs place, is where they get points.
that makes sense.
And then the
So
guys
you
with the most points or whatever move on to the next round, which is the round of 12.
so if you don't finish in the top 16, you don't get points. Is that correct? Did I lose you? Uh-oh. Am I still live? Hey. His internet might have just went out. I'm not sure what's happening here. I will carry this on my own. Okay, I'm getting confirmed that I'm still on here. Okay. Will he might get back onto this? We'll see. But to carry on, if he doesn't come back. So our car lift of the week will be Chase Briscoe. He won here last year, 6th on odds boards. My dad, Mike, feels like he needs to get points to kind of carry over him into the next playoff. So a little bit of motivation there for him to win or get a top 3, top 5. Hopefully he gets us the whole scoop. Our head-to-head matchups are Briscoe over Reddick, Hamlin over Byron, Cindric over Bowman. Our NASCAR top finisher picks, top 3, Ryan Blaney. There you hear him again, as he won last week. So hopefully he keeps that motivation and that winning streak going. And then our texting dad right now, so hopefully he can get back on here. Our top 5, Joey Logano, and our top 10, Bubba Wallace. And so he has something on here, the NASCAR Playoffs Grid Challenge and NASCAR Gambling Podcast League. I'm not 100% sure what his plan is here for this. He's hopefully figuring out the Wi-Fi over back at the house. He has some bets on finishers here for 16 to 12. Larson, Blaney, Logano, SVG, Reddick, Hamlin, Byron, Bell, Briscoe, Wallace, and Cindric and Elliott are 12 to 18, or 12 to 8, sorry. Larson, Blaney, Reddick, Logano, Briscoe, Hamlin, SVG, and Byron are 8 to 4. Larson, Blaney, Hamlin, and Logano, and our playoff winner, Ryan Blaney. So this might be the whole playoff that he's betting on. I'm not knowing what he's doing, but hopefully he can get back here and explain it here soon. I'm getting texts. Does not look good. I have no control over the live stream or to end this. He's in full control of this thing. We might be chilling here for a little bit. Just me and y'all. He's saying there's nothing he can do. So hopefully our Wi-Fi gets figured out and we have no more technical difficulties. Because that could bring in some issues here soon. And I don't know who's in here. I can't tell. So thanks for hanging out with me. Give us. We can do some Q&A. I'm talking to my sister right now. You can give us some Q&A questions. If anyone has some questions that I can answer. Get to know me a little bit. Get to know the podcast more a little bit. I know we talked about it earlier, but I could bring in my other sister, keep us entertained here. Just trying to hold things down. Ooh, good question, Madison. She said the football game I'm looking forward to this upcoming week, or this weekend, actually. So we are tried and true Notre Dame fans. We bleed blue and gold. and they are opening in Miami this week against Carson Beck, the newly led Carson Beck Miami team, which I don't think he lives up to the hype at all. I think he went to Miami for the money. Notre Dame also has never won in Miami, which is an interesting stat to kind of keep in mind there. But Notre Dame has some great They got some transfers. They got the kid from Virginia, who's a tight end, who's big, fast, plays the tight end position well, and Notre Dame loves their tight ends historically. And the defense, we didn't lose too much, so we lost a little bit in the secondary there. But I think, not to have a little bias, I think they go in there and pull it out. If anything, this is one of their only 2 losses of the year. I think they find 2 games to lose in there just because it's Notre Dame, and they will lose to a team that -2.5 hammering it. I like it. Thank you, Preston. But I think they find a way to lose 2 games to some team that they should not lose against, like NIU last year. So embarrassing. So embarrassing for a Power 5 school to be in a football school to go out and lose like that. Hopefully that doesn't happen this year. CJ Carr, they're saying, looks pretty good in camp. They're starting quarterback going into week 1. But I think the defense holds it down for that Notre Dame team. Looking to our other team, the Denver Broncos, I don't know if it's a hot take or not, but I think they win the West. Their offense looks spectacular. They just signed Evan Ingram, and he's finally going to have somewhat of a decent quarterback in Bo Nix. Hopefully there's no sophomore slump there. Your Super Bowl and college football championship picks, also on the Cracker Barrel logo controversy. Love me some Cracker Barrel. Going to stay out of that. Stay out of that kind of area there. But my Super Bowl and college football championship picks. College football. I'm going to go take a look at rankings. I can also talk about fantasy football, as I got my draft coming up here next week. If anyone wants to hear my fantasy football thoughts or wants to give me advice, I have the number 2 pick. I sadly think the NFL loves the Chiefs a lot. I think they go deep into the playoffs. As I just said, that I hope the Broncos win the AFC West. It's hard to play against the NFL bias with the Chiefs and just how much media and money they bring in for the NFL. But NFC wise, I would absolutely love Detroit to go out there and finally do it and go to a Super Bowl. I think they have all the weapons and all the puzzle pieces to do that. So my NFC pick is going to be Detroit. I think they can do it. I think Philly is their only it will be their only test there, probably in the NFC Championship there. But AFC wise, Oh, another text message I'm getting here. My grandma, his mom, won her first NASCAR bet on Ryan Blaney. So congrats, Grandma. I love to hear it. Ryan Blaney, thank you for doing great work for us and our family, winning us some money. So AFC, let me go take a look at some standings here in the AFC. Like I said, the Broncos and the Chiefs. We're a little AFC West bias. The Cardinals may be sneaky good this year. Keep an eye on them. Yeah. Hopefully just the Broncos. Hopefully the Broncos get there. I'm trying to think of who else the past recently. It's usually just the Chiefs, right? College football championship picks. Let me think about that. Texas will be good again. I think the Arch Manning. It's hard to tout the name. Hopefully he lives up to it. I would love to see him live up to the name. I'm not a Texas fan whatsoever. It's always horns down, but Arch Manning could be very cool to see. I think Texas is definitely is going to be in there in the playoff. Ohio State, which Ohio State could be questionable as their quarterback. I've saw some highlights earlier. Jeremiah Smith is gonna build them out. He's the best wide receiver in college football. Could help his quarterback a lot. So we'll see what else. I'm getting some other questions here that I might answer as they're kind of rolling through for me here on the phone. Next, coming from my sister Madison, dinner table, dead or alive, sports celebrity picks. That's a great question, Madison.
Okay,
Oh,
am
he's
I back?
back. Let's go.
Can you hear me?
I can hear
Can you hear
you.
me?
I can.
Okay,
I was just kind of holding it down here for a
nice.
little bit, Dad. A little question
That's
as
what
I was thinking
Madison was texting me.
about. As she just gave me a really good question. Um, dinner table. Anyone, any celebrity, sports, any athlete you could, dead or alive, you could have dinner with. Who would it be? I think I know your answer.
Um, Probably. I don't know. I would need like 3 or 4, but probably Larry Bird, maybe.
I knew it. That's what I was gonna say.
Um, the dude just
Bird is
seems
the
pretty,
word.
yeah, pretty down home.
It's a
Um,
great answer.
yeah.
That is a
So
great.
I super apologize everybody for
The
yeah,
technical
for
difficulty.
technical difficulties. I'm gonna try to get some better Wi-Fi in the basement. So um let's see where we leave off. We left off at the
You
NASCAR
gotta,
playoffs, right?
yeah. I kind of touched on your um our car lift and the head to heads and the top finishers,
Okay.
but I need you to explain to them the playoff grid challenge.
Oh, the playoff grid challenge is actually on NASCAR.com. Um, and you go to NASCAR.com and then you go to fantasy and it's there. So you can join the grid challenge just with the general public. And then um, I'll give everybody the or the NASCAR Gambling Podcast League um, login and password because that's not my league to be handing that out. If you're on the Discord for the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, if you're on that Discord, then you can go to the NASCAR Gambling or the NASCAR portion of the Discord and ask Cody Zeeb for the password. That's his contest. Um, so basically, what it is you're just picking the whole 16 to winner playoff in a grid. So the first 16 goes to 12. So you got to pick that down to 12. And then you got to pick down from 12 to 8, and then 8 to 4, and then the winner. And that final race, I believe, is on November 2nd. So I believe there's 3 races per level. So there's 3 races where they accrue points to go from 16 to 12. And then there's 3 more races where they get more points where they go from 12 to 8, and so on and so forth until they get to the final 4 where I believe there's 3 races ending and then the one ending in Phoenix on November 2nd. So go to NASCAR.com and look at the fantasy portion. You're going to have to sign in and sign up for NASCAR.com. It doesn't cost anything, but go to the fantasy portion and then you can do your own bracket challenge there. But did you go through ours or no?
Yeah, I did.
So our 16 to 12, our 12 to 8, our 8 to 4.
Yeah, I sure
Yeah.
did.
And then our winner, of course, is our guy, Ryan Blaney.
Let's go.
So I took there's a few risks in there. A few picks that are very on brand. I believe SVG,
I was about to say
Shane Van
SVG was very
Gisbergen.
on brand.
Making it to the final 8 is really on brand, but there is a path for him to get there. Joey Logano making that far to the final 4 is very on brand as well. So, yeah, let's go. Let's go. And Blaney and Logano are teammates. So let's go Team Penske. They drive for the Penske auto team. So, and I believe Penske's won it the last 3 years in a row, if I'm not mistaken. So, again, that's kind of where we're at. Again, really appreciate Brad joining us. That was cool. Brandon, from your new place. And then the chat, especially our guy Preston from the Discord. Like I said, Preston's does a lot on the Discord. He's in there a lot, contributing to the chat and winning DFS challenges, which is awesome. Thanks, Madison and Mom, Grandma Day, for helping in the chat out while I was
Yeah.
offline, furiously scrambling to get some type of Wi-Fi.
I hope I held it down well. I think I did. I was
That's what
we had
they're
some
saying. That's what they're saying.
yeah. We had some interesting questions come through.
Nice.
If you feel like answering some Super Bowl predictions, Dad?
Oh,
I said Detroit in the NFC. I'm not quite sure about AFC. It's a little more feisty in there.
Yeah, Detroit should make it. I'm not sure if they have enough defense to make it. I could definitely see the Eagles going back, and I think the AFC is a little bit more wide open than the NFC is. I think the NFC maybe has 4 teams that can get there,
Yeah.
whereas in the AFC there's probably 6 to 8 teams that can win the AFC championship, and one of those being our Denver Broncos. So I think if I was going to
Gotta
put
put Baltimore in there.
if I was going to put some early season sprinkles before the season starts on anything, I really like Denver Broncos odds to win both the AFC West and the AFC Championship. I don't
That
have those in front of
defense.
me, but they're definitely plus odds. Their defense is going to be
That's
uh,
scary defense.
crazy good. So we'll get into more of that as the football season um, starts to come up. But somebody just popped in. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Preston, your Super Bowl and picks. Thoughts on the Cracker Barrel logo? I promised I wouldn't
I
get
didn't
into
speak
any
on
of
it.
that. Yeah.
Yep. I'm PR trained.
Sorry, Preston. Both of us promised not to do that because we would inevitably end up making 50% of our listeners mad either way. So not sucking up. I think the Broncos are underrated. Yeah. Yeah, I think they are a little
That
bit.
defense.
Listen to the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Sean Green is very high on the Broncos, whereas Ryan Kramer, his co-host, is not so much. So listen to the AFC West prediction podcast. That was really good. And I don't know. I'm more of a college football enthusiast than I am an NFL enthusiast. So, and everybody, you can see the hat. You can see where our family affiliation is.
I already talked
Go
about
Go Irish.
it.
Yeah. I do have a Notre Dame to win the national championship preseason bet. What else? But yeah, you know what I probably need to post, Brandon, and I've been trying to decide if I should. I'll tell Preston. I'll post it in the Discord. But I did conference by conference over under wins. Not every team in a parlay because some of them I didn't like, but typically it was probably 6 or 8 of the members of each conference in an over under wins parlay. So if you want to see that, hit me up or hit up the comments. A lot of our listeners have my cell phone, so they can text me. This will be uploaded to Spotify. I don't know how well that's going to go with the dead air. Hopefully you guys kept it going and it kept recording. I don't think that it did.
It didn't. according to the live stream and stuff, I was still here.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So maybe it did record and it got your guys' whole conversation. So, um, but we're about an hour into this, so I'm
I
gonna
know.
probably eject from this first show. Oh boy, it was fun. It was
That
a
was a
fun
show.
show.
Yeah, it
We
was.
had some chaos, which is very NASCAR like, to have some chaos in the middle of the show, and mainly it sounds like just for me having chaos. You guys lost me for a little bit. I don't know if that's good or bad either. But we really appreciate everybody that jumped on to the inaugural, very first, the Expert Suck podcast live stream on YouTube to the YouTube channel. Um, and if you're here, tell your friends, but do hit the subscribe button because that's where we gain followers and viewers, and that's how we gain, um, status in YouTube. So subscribe, and then like, and then share, just like Spotify. So, all right, B, we did good. I think we have some
We
bugs to get
did.
out, but
Yeah.
everybody in the chat, we really appreciate you. Preston,
Yeah.
thanks for joining us. That was so cool. And we're going to keep this going. We're going to probably do 2 a week. Me and Brandon will do a show that will continue PJ, UFC, and NASCAR. And then Brad and I will do a show typically Thursdays during the day, late afternoon. Brandon and I will probably still be on Tuesdays,
Yeah.
and we'll just keep all the fun train going here.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
love it.
really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, again for joining, and we will catch you next week.
Have a good one.